Welcome back to Grand Tactician The Civil War. This is our CSA 1864 campaign, and we are in episode 7. If you missed the previous episodes, you can go back and check them out by clicking on the link in the pinned comment, which will take you to the playlist. I'll also pop a link in the description. You can also click on my channel, of course, and go and find the video that you're up to and go back over and watch what we've done so far. As always, this video will be chaptered, so if you don't want to watch any of these bits, then just skip past them. I'll do a quick overview now. So we're holding a defensive line in Virginia. We had our butts kicked up here in Dalton, Georgia, and we've pulled back on Atlanta. Our main forces are kind of gathered around Atlanta and this line in Virginia. This is our defensive position. We've been on the offensive down here in southwest Mississippi. We've advanced on Baton Rouge. We've got armies on the move, basically, and we are taking back our lost lands. That's what the last episode is pretty much all about. And that's kind of where we're at. So the hope is, we're in September 1864. There's an election on the 9th of November, I want to say. 1864, 9th of November? That date rings a bell. But so what we want to do, we want to make sure Union national morale, which is currently at 52, we need to hammer that down below 50. So one of the points to win is Union morale below 50. If that happens, then their voters will become demoralized and they will vote for the Democrats. And the Democratic Party wants to end this war. If they do, they would sue for peace and that would be an end of it. Now the Union are sitting on national morale of 52. So I figure if we take back a couple of these larger cities down in the south, that's bound to have a morale effect. They're also struggling with their finances. We've had a notification up in a previous episode saying they were bankrupt, basically. So they've been working on financial policies, and that kind of stuff can also lower national morale. So let's see where that goes. In terms of our policies, we are working on the Regulars Act. I kind of just picked it because there wasn't really much else to do, and this will give us an access to a few more troops. And now, in the previous episode, I'd noticed that our morale was plummeting and plummeting, even though we didn't really fight much in the way of battles, except for that one victory in the last battle. But I think that's because, if we have a quick look at the military, so for example, this is the Army of the Tennessee, and this was set on this setting. Now, if you don't know, this part over here is how you regulate the troops, your reinforcements, your replacements coming into your armies. So say, let's look at this brigade, for example, Lucius Polk. That's only a 1,300-man brigade with 333 men disabled. From the pool of reserves and recruits, drafts and volunteers that are available, that unit will be filled up gradually. So when you have it set at DV like this, that means draftees and volunteers, with the green symbol meaning high replacement priority. So if you wanted to say, so I've changed all of these. I've just changed all of these back to this volunteers. So only volunteers are going to be drafted in. And since we haven't got any volunteers, that means that we won't get new drafts coming in to fill up these units. But that's okay. Now we can set it to drafts only. We do have draftees available, but that lowers national morale, and that's not a good thing. Now, on the D and V, it'll pick them both, but obviously since we only have draftees available, that's no use to us at all. So I'll change this to volunteers only because we don't want to be using our draft troops. You can also change here for priority. So that's like medium, high, and low. So anyway, if you don't know that, then change that setting if you're playing these later ones, these later scenarios with the Confederacy, because it will absolutely harm your national morale to keep drafting in replacements. Much as it's nice to get extra troops in, but we've had maybe 100,000 draftees, I think, come into the military, which has now taken us actually close to the Union numbers. We've got 382,000 men fielded. They've got 421,000. So those are substantial numbers. I mean, I can't remember what it was at the start of the campaign, but I think it was somewhere around 270,000. So, as you can see, despite having lost lots of men in combat, we have replaced those losses from the draft pool, and that's not good. Well, I mean, it's good in the sense that we've got troops on the ground, but it's not amazing for anything else. So I've shifted a few little things around. I've given out a couple of perks that were available to our units, but other than that, I haven't really done much off screen. So it's pretty much where we left off last time, and that's enough talking from me now about what's happened. So again, if you want to see in detail the previous episodes, just go back and check them out. It could well be that this is the last episode in the series if Lincoln gets voted out. So we'll see about that, I guess. Let's get started. In terms of strategy, it's kind of the same as it was. We're going to see if we can capture a few of these places down here. There has been another update to the game, and other than notifications for things like depots being constructed, I haven't really noticed any changes as such, which is quite handy. So we'll see those pop up along the side here. We're constructing a depot at Baton Rouge. We are moving the District of Arkansas under Price down to capture Jackson, Mississippi, or at least that's the plan. They don't seem to be moving too much. Let's see if this gets them going. It's going to take 88 hours for that order to get there. So the Cavalry Corps under Hamilton B, they've constructed a depot here. So I think I'm going to move these guys across to join our main force down here at Baton Rouge, and we're going to push on New Orleans. It was suggested in the comments that we should move our Army of Tennessee into Virginia. And that's something I am considering. Certainly if this election doesn't go through the way we want, or if we see these guys pushing, we will absolutely do that. Possibly leave one corps behind here. They can build some forts. In fact, we'll get on building some forts right now. Forts cost money, of course, but they are handy to slowing down the advance of the enemy. Let's take a quick look at our Shreveport squadron and see how that's looking. That's a fleet, of course. Yeah, that's almost ready. I've shifted these two ships that we built in here, these tiny little paddle steamer gunboats. I'm going to pop some men into the Fort Thompson garrison. I'm also going to go ahead and give them a half-decent commander. This is going to be an important place to hold. So as I was talking about here, we've only got 64,000 draftees left and 135 volunteers, so there's not much available. We're going to draft in some artillery. Now, it shouldn't hit us too hard because this is only 180 men. We're also going to draft in infantry, but again, just a small force. So let's take them from Alabama. 1,500. It's just for the garrison. And the Rains, he's from Missouri, might improve our standing there. So that's going to take that Fort Thompson garrison to 1,700 men with a pretty decent commander as well. This is obviously going to slow down any advance from this District of North Carolina and the Army of Virginia. When they get in there anyway. Fort Williams. This is also an important little section, so I'm going to pop some more guys in there. Let's find Fort Williams. Let's replace the commander. I'm just going to put artillery in this unit, in this fort. But let's go with a 240-man unit. The commanders don't matter too much, so at least then it should slow down any sort of movement between these 2 points. In terms of an offensive, I'm not sure. If I'm honest, I'm not sure if I'm going to go on the offensive here. We've also built this fort here, Fort Law, so I'm going to pop some guys in there as well. I know I'd said I didn't want to use draftees, but we do need to man these forts with someone. Again, we're going to put a half-decent commander in, since this is going to be an important point. A slightly larger force here with 2,250. I'm also going to put some artillery in there. So this will cost us in terms of morale a little, but it means we're going to have a garrison in here, and it's going to free up the Southwest Virginia Department of 12,750 men to possibly do something with. I'm not sure what exactly, but we will probably do something with them. It's vitally important we keep our armies intact here. I'm going to send the District of Florida to advance to Lake City again. And we're going to build a depot here, and then we're going to push up back into Jacksonville and see if we can't take this port back and maybe take that fort. I know they're only a small force, but, we've got to do something here. So their morale's at 50. They're still dropping. I reckon if we manage to take Jackson here, if if these guys ever move. If we manage to take Jackson, and once this depot's built, push on New Orleans, that's got to cause them some trouble. Especially if we manage to fight a battle down here and defeat this 16th Corps detachment. That's going to hurt their morale. I'm going to speed things up a little. I'm wary of doing, like, of being offensive, too offensive. I don't want to lose a big battle here and then potentially give them the advantage again. Stuart's withdrawing, so they must be on the move in Virginia. Okay, I'm going to slow this down. Let's have a look. Stuart at destination. Yeah, so they've made some moves along here, but nothing major, I don't think. I'm going to push up Breckinridge's Valley Department. I know it's only a tiny force, but we're going to push them up here. Maybe that'll give them something else to think about. Let's take a quick look how long the garrison's going to take to get to Fort Law. 21 days and 28 days. That's not too bad. We've got the Cavalry Corps under Wheeler hanging out here. We've got Forrest's Corps up here. The District of the Indian Territory is kind of watching out for territory in Arkansas, but we do have the Army of Arkansas on the horizon here at 16,000 men. Now, you've got to remember that the Union have the same kind of problem as we have. They'll have a lot of draftees in their army, and their morale is lower than ours. Morale of army... No, actually it's not. So our national support is down to 39, and our morale of armies on 44. Theirs is 46, so they're both really low. Alright, so that's Sterling Price on the move towards Jackson. Our financial situation is not good. BB+. Breckinridge has arrived, so he's pushed down the valley here. I'm not seeing any major movements from the Union. They're still sort of hanging around Winchester. I'm going to send D.H. Hill towards Norfolk with Whiting's Corps. Well, they've got a perk as well. Let's give them the Siege Train perk. Let's slow it down a moment. I'm going to attach Pickett to D.H. Hill again. Again, to do that, if you're not sure, you just drag and drop. So pull him over, and there we are. Then Pickett's assigned to D.H. Hill's Corps. So D.H. Hill now has 3 corps again. 4 corps, actually, if we include Breckinridge's force. So he's got Breckinridge, Gardner, Withers, and now Pickett. Pickett. So let's also move... where is Pickett? Oh, there he is. Let's move Pickett across as well. Alright, so... Oh, here we go. That's the notifications I was talking about. This is a new thing, look. So, construction complete. Construction of the Beaumont Depot is complete in the state of Texas. This is really quite handy. I think that was Magruder, yeah. So, Magruder has constructed this depot there. So, we're going to keep an eye and see what's happening. I'm a little worried about this Army of Arkansas up here. Let's check out the morale of the Union. 49. So I mean, really, he's got to go on the offensive somewhere. He's got to win a battle, hasn't he, to bring up his morale? I would think so. It's an edgy sort of time. So do we risk a move on Norfolk? Fort Desperate has been, I think it's just been repaired. It's the fort we captured near Baton Rouge. He's still not doing anything. Has he got a trick up his sleeve? And where did these central armies go? I mean, I guess they've pulled back up north towards Nashville, because we cut their supplies. So I mean, we did spot them building a new depot up here, but I don't know. Forrest is still here. We've got Fort Granger there. Price is capturing Jackson, Mississippi. That's ours. It's flipped. We just need that depot so Price can get something to eat. There we go. That's it. Flipped. What are we at now? National morale at 47. This is looking really good, actually. Let's push him on Vicksburg. and hope it's not a disaster at that fort at Vicksburg, Fort Hill. We'll see. Why is the Union doing nothing? Why are they just sitting here? We passed the Regulus Act, so we've now recruited some fresh troops. Regular troops. Let's just have a quick look at that. I think it forms a new army. Yeah, so it's formed the Army of Virginia. He'll do for now, I guess. Forney, and then we've got the CS Regulars there. They're not ready. 20 days. 19 days. So they're all 1,500 man brigades. Cavalry as well there. And some artillery. So that gets us an extra 8,000 men. 9,000 men. Pretty good. Are we in supply here? We are not in supply at all. There are 3,000 men garrisoned in Norfolk. We do have 20,000 men. So, Pickett's troops, they suffered with bad morale at the start of the last battle as well. So their fighting spirit is only 31, which is why they're starting off nervous, and that's not good. Withers is confident. It's October the 2nd, so like only kind of a month to go potentially. If the election goes our way. Glorious victory at Fort Hill. Wallace surrenders. So we've taken back... Well, we're taking back Vicksburg right now. Oh, we haven't got a policy on. Let's go with Revenue Act 1. It's going to cost us a little bit of support, but it's going to increase our funding. Our money. So we're capturing Vicksburg. His morale's at 47. It's the 5th of October. Very tense. A very tense time. It'll be funny if this ends without a battle, actually. Yeah, so if we don't get a positive result from that election, we're going to send troops from Tennessee, or Georgia rather, from the Army of Tennessee. We're going to send them into Virginia, and we are going to launch a huge offensive to see if we can capture Washington, or destroy his armies in Virginia at the very least. That is the plan. Let's speed this up. General news, India, 70,000 dead. Oh dear. So there's still stuff going on in the world not related to the war. Withers is at his destination, so they're capturing Norfolk, Virginia. But we're not attacking that fort, which I suppose is a good job. Condition alert for our troops here, because there's nothing to eat here in this area. So we've constructed the depot here now. It has improved our situation, but it's still on a condition alert. But let's push down into New Orleans. Might as well. A raid in St. Albans, Vermont. 1 killed and 2 wounded. Banks robbed, money raised. I don't know if this makes any difference to us. Raiders arrested in Canada. So the Cavalry Corps already arrived and they're capturing that place. The 16th Corps doesn't seem to be interested. Or are they even there? We don't know. There's a question mark over them. It's the 22nd of October. The Union's doing nothing. Officer rehabilitated. Lieutenant Colonel McIntosh is no longer disgraced. Okay. So we've retaken Norfolk. let's have a quick look at this situation. National morale of 44. It's the 23rd of October. I think the Unions had it. I think their armies are really struggling here. There's no movement from him at all. Construction complete. Nashville depot. So that's Forrest finished with building the depot at Nashville. Nice. I think we've taken New Orleans back as well. I mean, that core is not even down here. What on earth? So they don't seem interested at all, the Union. It's the 28th of October. New Orleans is captured, taken back by the rebels, by us, by the Confederates. Let's just take a quick look at the front lines. Whoa, what's happening here? Wounded in action. Oh, Hindman's back, so he was wounded. He suffered a severe wound in battle, has recovered and is ready to continue his service. May assign him. Due to the severity of his wounds, his performance will not be the same as before, but I mean, that's okay. Don't really need him at the moment. We're just looking. We're just waiting for the election to come. I cannot believe that they haven't done anything. The Union's on 42 national morale. They've collapsed, basically. The morale of the nation has collapsed. 4th of November. The 5th of November. 6th. 7th. The 8th. It's election day coming up. It's the 9th. I guess we're not here until we get the actual results, but let's take a quick look at the front line situation here. So it's much improved from what it was at the beginning of this campaign. We've reunified the Mississippi River, except for this bottom section. Things on the whole are looking okay, actually. They've got 430,000 in the field. We've got 399,000. I mean, bring it on. But there's nothing. We've got a Confederate slight advantage. This is not how I expected this to go. I honestly thought we were done for pretty much after that defeat, the huge defeat at Dalton right here. But they didn't press. They pulled back. I don't know. I really don't know why. They haven't done anything. It's the 10th now. The Union's printing new notes. So, I mean, their economy is absolutely shattered. And here we are. Lincoln loses the elections. A Democrat elected president. Confederates congratulate the winner. Yeah, well done. Is that McClellan then, maybe? Because he ran, didn't he, in this, historically. Davis willing to enter negotiations. The war about to end. So what happens now? Oh, national morale. 2. Let's see. The 11th of November. Nothing really happened. The war is over, just like that. What an absolute! It's just a total anticlimax when this happens, when the war ends in this game. There's no video, there's no nothing, but we've won the war. Well, we've signed a peace agreement. We've won our independence. The Southland is independent. The Confederate States of America. Long live Jefferson Davis. Well, I enjoyed this campaign. I thought I was going to get my butt kicked, especially after that huge battle. But in terms of battles, there wasn't much. Only 2 battles in this whole campaign. 2 or 3 battles. A couple of smaller skirmishes, I guess. But that huge battle that I lost, I honestly thought it was over. But they didn't press their advantage. They didn't press anywhere. I think this game would benefit from multiplayer. It would be awesome to play this game against some other guys, some human players. And coming up to human players here, if you like my content, you will also like some other people's content. There's a fella called Brambra. His content's awesome. There's also another dude called J76NY. He produces great content. He's got a long running series going actually with the Union. I think he's got on episode 28 at the moment. It is coming to an end, but it's well worth a watch. So head on over to his channel. I'll pop a link at the end screen here. So if you're interested in this sort of content, if you enjoy my content, you will like their content. So I'll pop a link up for J76NY, and I'll pop a link up for Brambra's channel. So go and check those guys out. If you like this content, you will like that content. And if you enjoyed this series, have a look on my channel. There's another couple of Grand Tactician series that I've done already and completed. This is my third one to finish, except the last one had to finish prematurely due to conflicts with the new patch that came out, and it's kind of ruined the save game. But anyway, this was a good little campaign. I enjoyed the 1864 start, but what's next, I'm not sure. It's almost the weekend here. It's a Friday I'm recording this. I'll take a couple of days and I'll have a little think about the next series. I might start from the beginning again, but it'll be a few days before I do that. So I might start from the very beginning with this new patch, with all the new features. There's some awesome new features in this game now. I like the building mechanics. I like the look of all this sort of stuff. Like, so you can pump money into brickworks and things like that, you know. And obviously you could always build railways, but this sort of thing is great. Hospitals, banks, markets, what else we got here? News agencies, you know, all this kind of stuff. Prison camps. So this is all new stuff, and this is all, I think it's really cool that they're still putting lots of new things into this game, and I really enjoy this game. So if you did enjoy the series, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought of it. Plenty of people were complaining about my defeat at Dalton. I know I should have done things better. It's always easy to see these things in hindsight. It's different when you're actually on the game doing it. It was a difficult battle to fight. It was the largest battle I've ever had on here. But other than that, defeated Dalton, I think the campaign was handled quite well. I mean, we didn't do much. We held our defensive lines. The AI did nothing, particularly in this last episode. Honestly, he should have pushed with all he had into Virginia to try and gain some sort of military victory. But then I may well have defeated him on the field and would have made things worse for him. So I don't know what exactly the AI was thinking, but it didn't work out for him. We've got our independence, and that's that. Whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a great day, and I will catch you in the next video. Ta-ra for now.